It's 10 random questions from a confidence round recorded live at RT Rogers Brewing in Sierra Madre, California. This is Trivia with Buds. Welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out my show. If you like pop culture trivia, you are in the right place. And what a pop culture weekend it's been. I finally saw Avengers. I mentioned it on yesterday's episode, but oh man, it's still in my head, and I can't wait to see it again. Avengers Endgame, go see it. Even if you're a subtle Marvel fan, I think you will enjoy this last entry in the 22-film series. I'm super high on this movie. I have been watching another show that came out 10, 15 years ago called The IT Crowd. I think I went through and watched a handful of episodes at some point, and I'm like, I'll go back and watch these. So now I'm watching them in full, and I'm on season 2. So if you love British comedy, if you like a good sitcom, and you've never seen The IT Crowd, go give it a watch on Netflix. That's right, I am promoting The IT Crowd from 15 years ago and Avengers, a movie that needs no promotion, on this podcast. Getting ready for a big trip myself. I am flying Frontier Airlines for the first time, which I hear is not so great, but it saved me literally like $500 to do a last-minute gig in North Carolina. So if anybody has any experience with Frontier that is good, that's what I'm looking for. Send me some encouragement for a decent flight. It's a nonstop flight from Vegas to North Carolina, and then I return like 3 hours later. So it's not even a 24-hour trip. But flying out of California last minute was like a no-no in terms of price. So I was like, I'll try Vegas, and I could drive a little bit, and it's still, driving there and back is saving like, I think $500 or something crazy. So going to North Carolina, if you listen from that part of the country, Raleigh is where I'll be, and I'll be about 20 minutes from the airport at a country club doing a Minute to Win It style gig for a dental implant company. So they were like, hey, we want to do Minute to Win It games and a little bit of trivia. And I said, I can do that. So I've been preparing the games and running them by the lady who hired me, and she's seems like really fun. So something I always like to include as like a goofy prize is Sharknado headshots for these company parties. So I said, hey, she goes, do you have any idea for prizes? And I go, I can include like a signed Sharknado headshot. And she was like, oh my God. Like, it was like I was offering somebody the Holy Grail. She was like, that would be amazing. And I sent her what it looks like. And she's like, yes, please bring those for everybody. So a bunch of dental implant people will have some Sharknado headshots after this big gig on Tuesday. And special shout out to my wife, Ashley Starling Buds, who is running the fort while I'm gone. She'll be hosting trivia and bingo on Monday and Tuesday night. So she'll be doing bingo Monday night at Hangar 24. If you live in the Redlands, California neighborhood and want to play bingo with her from 7 to 9, we usually get a huge crowd on the patio, and that should be fun. And then she's going to do Lordsburg Tap House for me, which is on Tuesday night from 8 to 10 in Laverne, California. So come play trivia with the other Buds, my wife, Ashley Buds, this Monday and Tuesday. And then she'll also be doing her regular Wednesday at First Class Pizza in Riverside, California, 7 to 9 on Wednesday. So a lot of Ashley in the mix if you want to play trivia with her. And later on this week, we're going to have some Anne Rice novel trivia from her. She's a big Anne Rice fan, and one of my patrons, I forget who off the top of my head right now, requested Anne Rice novels as a topic. If I had to guess, it would be Brenda Martinez, because she's a big book nerd. But if you picked Anne Rice novels, it's coming right around the corner, and that episode's going to be guest hosted by the wifey. So that'll be fun. And if you want to support the show on Patreon, go to patreon.com/triviawithbuds and donate a few bucks. We have 31 patrons who love this show and are very, very cool for supporting it every single day and every single month. And I'll be sending out all the rewards for May in just the next few days here. Probably when I get settled back from this trip, I'll probably do it on Thursday or Friday. So be on the lookout for your rewards on, probably next Monday or so. But we're going to jump into today's episode. It is recorded at RT Rogers Brewing in Sierra Madre, California, and it's a confidence round. So it's 10 totally random questions that closed out my live trivia nights last week. If you're playing along, you write down all the answers, and you assign a rank to each answer. 10's the highest, 1's the lowest, and you can score up to 55 points because you have to use each number in the ranking one time. 10's the highest, 1's the lowest. We're going to jump into those questions right now. Let's see how you do. Here we go. This is the last round of the night. This is the confidence round. And these are 10 totally random questions. Write down all your answers, ranking them 1 through 10. 10's the highest, 1's the lowest. Number 1. Only 5% of the world's population has ever been on a what? Number 1. Only 5% of the world's population has ever been on a what? Number 1. Number 2. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was originally going to be about what bird? Was it a penguin? Number 2. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was originally going to be about what bird? Number 3. Snickers bars were named after what type of animal? Number 3. Snickers bars were named after what type of animal? Question number 4 for the confidence round. Nostophobia, N-O-S-T-O, phobia. Nostophobia is a fear of going where? Number 4. Nostophobia is a fear of going where? Number 5. What part of a car injures around 600 cyclists in the UK yearly? Number 5. What part of a car injures around 600 cyclists in the UK yearly? Number 6. According to the third line of the Steve Miller Band song, The Joker, some people call him by what M name? Number 6. According to the third line of the Steve Miller Band song, The Joker, some people call him by what M name? Number 6. Number 7. Which of these is not an official language in Belgium? Is it English, German, Dutch, or French? Number 7. Which of these is not an official language in Belgium? English, German, Dutch, or French? Number 7. Number 8. In the game of 9-ball, the pool balls are initially placed in a grouping of what shape? Number 8. In the game of 9-ball, the pool balls are initially placed in a grouping of what shape? Number 8. Number 9. Varicella is a disease more commonly known as what? V-A-R-I-C-A-L-L-A. Varicella is a disease more commonly known as what? Number 9. Number 10. Which U.S. president appears on the far left of Mount Rushmore? Number 10. Which U.S. president appears on the far left of Mount Rushmore? Somebody asked me this week, they were like, wait, what do you mean, looking at it? I go, no, like you're climbed on top of it and are looking down over it. You dum-dum. Number 10, which U.S. president appears on the far left of Mount Rushmore? Number 10. Those are your questions for the last round of the night, the confidence round. We'll be right back with the answers in just a bit, and we'll find out who won this thing. Cheers. Here we go. This was a real close game. Thanks for playing, everybody. Answers to the confidence round. Last round of the night, number 1, only 5% of the world's population has ever been on an airplane. Number 1. Number 2, Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was originally going to be about a parrot. What? Because they talk. Number 2, parrot. Number 3, Snickers bars were named after the owner's horse, Snickers. Number 4, nostophobia is a fear of going home. Going home. Number 5, what part of a car injures 600 cyclists a year in the UK? The door. Doors opening and closing. Number 6, according to the third line of the Steve Miller Band song, The Joker, some people call him by the name Maurice. Number 7, which of these is not an official language in Belgium? English, German, Dutch, French. The answer was English. Number 8, in the game 9-ball, the pool balls are initially placed in a grouping of what shape? Diamond. Some people call it a Dustin diamond. Nobody does that. Number 9, varicella is a disease more commonly known as chickenpox. And number 10, which U.S. president appears on the far left of Mount Rushmore? George Washington. Those are the answers to the last round. Thanks for playing, guys.
Boom. There it was, a fun confidence round at RT Rogers Brewing. That crowd gets uproarious at certain times, so I love hearing them in the background of these episodes. The crowd, the name of the team that sits the closest to me when I record, their team is called the Old Gods. My friends Michael and Stephanie and Jose and Manny and a few other players. Doug was on that team this week, so if you guys are listening, thanks so much for playing every single week at RT Rogers Brewing. And if you're looking for a team to join, this is kind of a fun team you can jump in and jump out of if you live in Sierra Madre. This is the only trivia night at a brewery in Sierra Madre because it's the only brewery in that small town. So come on and play with the Old Gods. They always have a good time there at RT Rogers, where we've been hosting every Thursday, 8 to 10 for over a year. Thanks for making it part of your weekly routine. Thanks for making this show part of your daily routine. We've been doing it every single day for 314 days, coming up on the big 1-year anniversary of the daily edition of the podcast, and have been recording some fun episodes to post in the next few weeks, as well as some video content. So doing some more video content, and I've been teasing Periscope for the last week or so. I will be hopping on Periscope once things get settled after this trip and doing like a weekly thing. I think the first Sunday night trivia night that I'm going to do on Periscope is going to be next Sunday. So if you're sitting around your phone and you want to watch something fun, you want to participate, we'll figure out a fun way to do it, and it'll be on Periscope next Sunday night. So you can play from anywhere in the world, just like you listen to this show from anywhere in the world. Shout out to all my listeners from countries that are not the U.S., like Canada and Switzerland and Japan and Australia, which I can see on a little map on Libsyn of a few people downloading there. Some of those countries is just a few, but Australia, there's quite a bit. Canada, there's quite a bit. So thank you for spreading the word about this podcast all around the globe. And thanks to all the different trivia podcasts that let me guest on their shows, like Trivial Warfare, which I have some fun spots coming up with them. I have some stuff with James in the UK on Pod Quiz. I was a guest hosting his show last week, so you can check that one out. It was on 90s Nostalgia, the last round of that episode. And a bunch of other local podcasts like Wreck My Podcast. They always let me ask a question that leads to some fun discussion over on Wreck My Podcast. If you like nostalgia, check out that show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for telling a friend, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.